What is up, everybody? Welcome in to the Fantasy Tap. My name is Michael, and this is John. And if you've never joined us before, we are a fantasy football podcast bringing you the best and most accurate fantasy football knowledge there is. Right?
The most accurate. We're never wrong. We've never been wrong about a player
Ever.
We told you guys, hey, Christian McCaffrey, week 1's going to be great, but week 2 you're not going to want to start him. We know injuries before they happen. Hell, we even predicted some kind of sickness that came across the world, but we're not going to talk about that one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. All right. That is us. That is the Fantasy Tap for you. We have our week 5. We're already in week 5. I can't believe it. Season is kind of moving quite quickly. Week 5 breakdown. Obviously, if you've tuned in before, I am not in my office. I am in Colorado. Beautiful, overcast, 50, 60 degrees or so, approximately. It's very nice. John is sweating his balls off in Florida. So, but
rather warm down here, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, so very excited to have you guys. Guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button to this video. It would really help us out. Also, smash that there's bugs, notification button so you get notifications every time we go live and new video drops. We're going live tomorrow at 12 Eastern time for the live stream. No, not tomorrow. Sunday. I'm on vacation. I don't know what day it is.
I was going to say, you just tweeted out the London game was tomorrow, but it's actually Sunday.
Fudge. Oh, my God. I got to go fix that. John. Oh, no, that's not good.
So, guys, we're going to be doing our weekly game-by-game breakdown, and we're going to be doing it very, very well this week. We've got the first game that Mike obviously is slightly mistaken on. Is actually going to be at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. So what he wanted to do was he wanted to remind everyone to set their lineups for the game tomorrow or today, which is Saturday, for the game that is 9 a.m. on Sunday. That way, when you wake up a little late, you don't miss the opportunity. But in this game, we're going to have the New York Jets taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are currently a 3-point over. I'm sorry. The Jets are a 3-point underdog in this game, and I don't believe that this is – I think this is the Jets' best opportunity to get a second win. And honestly, I think at best you can play yourself a little bit of Zach Wilson if you're very desperate in a 2-quarterback league. But outside of that, not touching Matt Ryan or Zach Wilson if I'm in a single quarterback. With the fact that we're not going to have a Calvin Ridley and we're not going to have a Russell Gage. That leaves Mike Davis, Cordaro Patterson, Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus, Tajay Sharp, and Kyle Pitts. So I actually think we might get a little bit of work out of Mike Davis this week, and he might be usable if you were the fool that drafted him come draft day. So I think he can fill in a flex position this week. I think that Cordaro Patterson, if you got him, he has to at least make your flex spot. And then I think you also could take a shot on Zacchaeus if you are looking for a high upside, low floor play. Outside of that, Jamison Crowder, Corey Davis, maybe.
Jamison Crowder?
Yeah.
You have Jamison Crowder more than Corey Davis?
Corey Davis and Jamison. I said Jamison Crowder and Corey Davis.
I said maybe Corey Davis.
Well, maybe Jamison Crowder, maybe Corey Davis. I'd flex them both. I'm not confident in either. I don't think that we see the big arm of Zach Wilson emerge like we did last week, watching those deep balls. Who's actually, I think he's ranked 3rd in deep ball completions this year right now. But I don't see it happening. I just see a really stagnant and boring game, honestly, and I'm not really interested in this one.
They gotta give a show to the Brits. All right.
Yeah.
My bad English accent, London accent, whatever. Okay, so I would actually be interested in Zach Wilson as a streaming option this week if I need to. I'm not interested in Matt Ryan. Atlanta's defense is putrid. I believe Mike Davis, like you said about Mike Davis, I think this is a good week for him. Could sneak into that running back 2 category. Definitely a flex option this week. Same with Cordaro Patterson. And I actually like Olamide Zacchaeus as a flex option if needed, or a filler if you need to stream somebody. Also, Corey Davis, he's my start of the week. Love him this week. I think he's going to have a very, very solid week, at least a wide receiver 2 week. And then Jamison Crowder, I think, is a risky wide receiver 3 flex option. So if you need that, I mean, this is He saw the targets last week. He was a target monster all last year. So I think if you need that flex option, or a streaming option this week, go check him out, see if he's available. Also check and see if he's available on your waiver wires. He's only rostered in about 50% of leagues, so check that out. Kyle Pitts, he is my start of the week tight end. I think he's going to have a great game. No Calvin Ridley. That's why I think it's going to be the Calvin Ridley Zacchaeus show, with Cordaro Patterson sprinkled in there. So that is my take on this game.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just feel like Mike Davis is not a good running back, but not a bad running back. He's a very solid NFL running back, and it's not like he's not getting nearly 15 plus touches a game.
Right.
I think this week where he's going to be a little more leaned on, and this might be the only week you're going to be a good, comfortable start from him, and that's about the most for me. Let's go on. Obviously, you said Kyle Pitts is a start. I'm going to agree with that. So let's go over to the teams with some of the better tight ends. We got Zach Ertz.
Say something real quick.
Yeah.
I just tweeted out. I said, hey, it's not Friday night. Make sure you set your lineups tomorrow. So I screwed that tweet up. I fixed it. Don't worry, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you. We're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Carolina Panthers playing on Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's a 1 o'clock game. This is going to be, it's currently slated for a 50.5 over under, meaning that it should be surprisingly a high scoring game. And I actually really like it. I think Sam Darnold's a great start this week. I think he finds himself rushing for another touchdown against that weak Philadelphia offensive or defensive line. And I don't think a lot of teams expect him to run the ball because of his history. And it just leaves him wide open for those zone reads, those read options that they seem to be running in the red zone, especially with Christian McCaffrey out again this week.
Is he out? I think he's doubtful. Yes, he is doubtful. He's doubtful.
Yes, he's listed as doubtful.
So
he's
go
out.
ahead.
Which at this point in the week means he's out.
Yeah, or even if he does start, I think it's gonna be on a limited basis. It's gonna be very. I mean, this is his second week he missed, right?
I believe so.
Coming off a hamstring.
This would be the second full week.
Yeah, so
got injured in week 3.
Coming off, you want to kind of be careful with that. So yeah, I don't think he would be a full go even if he did start. But yeah, with that doubtful tag, I think he's pretty much out. Yeah, I like both quarterbacks in this. I think we could be looking at 2 quarterback ones this week. They could continue on that train. Miles Sanders, I'm staying away from.
You have to.
Are you potentially flexing in Kenny Gainwell, being that he's gotten that pass catching work?
If I've got him, then yeah, I'll potentially flex him in. It depends on what my other options are. There's definitely better options to throw in a flex position if you've got him.
He's a high-risk flex option.
He is a high-risk flex option, but I think, again, he's a low floor. He does have, I mean, we saw it last week. He can get into the end zone, and that makes a big difference. But I'd rather someone like Chuba Hubbard if I was lucky enough to grab him off the waivers. I think that he's a solid flex option this week, especially if CMC's down again. You obviously are not going to be getting Mike Davis of last week's peak or Christian McCaffrey numbers from him. So if you're expecting that, you're only going to set yourself up for some disappointment.
Yeah.
Devonta Smith and Jalen Reagor, I think both of them have a solid day. One of them I think does blow up though, and I just think it's going to be Devonta Smith, and I hate saying it out loud, but hey, we got to be honest and we got to be straightforward. Drop the bias. Robbie Anderson, still don't play him.
Yeah, don't play Robbie Anderson. And yeah, I would play Devonta Smith for sure. Jalen Reagor, I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to. His targets, the first 3 weeks were nice, but last week only seeing 1 against the KC defense has been pretty poor. So I'm not taking a chance on Reagor this week. And as far as the tight ends, I think Dallas Goedert is, you play him if you got him. If you're stuck between like him, I keep getting a lot of these questions like him, Higbee or Gesicki. And to be honest, it's the same thing. It's the same. They're all the same player. They could see 0 targets. They could see 8 targets and get in the end zone and have a great week. You're kind of just hoping for. I mean, Higbee put up 9 points last week. You don't need 2. You don't need 2 of those tight ends on your team, people. You don't. You already have one.
If you're playing one of them, you might as well just play the other. There's no reason to have them both.
Exactly.
Or stream. All
exactly.
right.
Sorry. My
You're fine.
hot.
All right. All right. What about your boy Terrace Marshall? I think this could be a game where he gets a little more involved. He kind of has been sometimes and hasn't. When he does, he looks great. When he doesn't, obviously, you don't get to see much.
Yeah,
Is this another chance?
I mean, I think it's another chance, but I don't think it's not worth the risk.
Okay.
Like if I were to go Jalen Reagor or Terrace Marshall, I'm going to go Jalen Reagor.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And I don't want to start Jalen Reagor.
Okay. Going over to Green Bay, playing Cincinnati at home. Cincinnati is playing at home. We got Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow. Obviously, I think you're starting Aaron Rodgers, no questions asked. And then Joe Burrow, I think you can slate in as a streamable quarterback this week or high-end QB2. I think he has a solid week. Aaron Jones
he's got a solid floor at like around 20 points.
Yeah, he definitely gets to air out the ball enough, and especially with Joe Mixon out, we could see him finding a little more comfortability throwing it in the red zone rather than running it up the middle. They don't seem to have that big body running back this week that they can just run it with on 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 1.
So with Joe Mixon, he didn't practice all week, but they are saying he's a game time decision. They're going to work him out on Sunday and see if he goes or not.
Mike, we're smarter than this. We're smarter than this.
I know, but all I'm saying is if he goes, are you starting him?
No.
You're not?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. We saw last season he was day-to-day / game time decision for 3 weeks before they put him on IR.
True.
You never want to predict an injury for someone and consider, there's injury prone players, but there's really, injuries happen to everyone. But with his history from when he is injured, if he's got any sort of designation next to his name, I just don't trust the situation because coach speak means nothing to me at that point. What about AJ Dillon this week?
I mean, I don't think he had a bunch of touches last week. That's very good. Yes.
15 carries.
But yes, very good. Very good. But I don't think it's consistent. I think similarly to Jamal Williams last year, you weren't playing Jamal Williams every week. He'd have these big games and then he'd taper off. Have these big games, taper off. AJ Dillon, in my opinion, this is where his value comes in. If Aaron Jones gets hurt and he's out for an extended period of time, that's why you have him on your roster. He's going to have his weeks where he gets his carries, but no, you're not going to be able to predict it. And I don't think this becomes a trend. So that's his biggest value is having him in case Aaron Jones gets hurt. So I'm not looking to play him. What about Samaje Perine if Joe Mixon doesn't play? I think he's a
flex option for sure. Low end RB2.
Yeah, agreed. Let's see. Jamar Chase, I think at this point has become a pretty much must start. I wish I was higher than I pre draft than I was. But whatever. Or during the draft season. T. Higgins, he is cleared to play. I think he's going to be a good start. They wouldn't play him if he didn't.
I'm hesitant to play him. I'm not taking a shot on him.
I think he'll be fine. As a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 flex. And obviously with Jair Alexander there, maybe he covers Jamar Chase, which at that point leaves T. Higgins open.
It could.
That's why I like this offense. I like this offense. I think Tyler Boyd as well. I think you can play him too as a flex option.
Yeah, I actually really my favorite player. Okay, yeah, Chase play Higgins. You play him in a flex, but be ready if he doesn't have a great day. He doesn't get a lot of usage. Tyler Boyd, I think I'd play Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins in the same respect. I don't like either of them over the other. Someone I do like though a lot from the Bengals. I do like CJ Uzomah after last week. He really, really looked like he was Joe Burrow's favorite target. Even though he didn't get the most targets this week, he was used in the best situations. Every 3rd down, it was 3rd and 8 or more. It was a CJ Uzomah 10-yard pass.
I agree. I get it. But I think that's because sorry to interrupt. I kind of think that's because T. Higgins is out or was out.
Been.
That's my take on it.
It could have been. My thing is, if you saw it last week, even last season, the first 2 weeks when he was playing, he still got 11 targets in 2 games. He was still someone that was very, very used before he got that Achilles injury. And he was starting to look good. I actually picked him up after week 1, and then We saw what happened week 2. He got hurt, and I felt like a dummy.
Yeah.
But I like him. Obviously, we're not playing our guy, Robert Tonyan. Both of us think he's going to be 2 touchdown dependent this week and could see somewhere around 2 targets, if any. And then obviously you are playing Devontae Adams. Let's talk about Randall, Cobb, and Adam Lazard very quickly. Randall Cobb, 50% snap share, roughly 5 catches and for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. Obviously, a beautiful day on such a limited amount of snaps. Taking the shot again?
I'm not taking the shot, but I do want to see if he gets that target share. If he gets that some more snap percentage, more time on the field. Because at that point, if he does it, then he'd be a nice addition for the future. So
okay. And then Adam Lazard, you got 79% snap percentage and only 2 catches on 3 targets last week.
Yeah,
I'm just not really, completely push fade.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Alan Lazard. I mean, we've seen it through his entire career.
All right, let's jump over to New England and Houston. Obviously, this is one of Mike's favorite games of the week. He loves the Houston Texans getting destroyed by pretty much every team. And this week, it's going to be the New England Patriots taking that shot. Now,
hot take here. New England loses this game.
I don't doubt it.
Half their offensive line is out, and they're coming off of a big moral victory going up against
Tom Brady. And I mean, hey, it's possible. It's just too bad Andy Dalton didn't get traded a little bit sooner. He could have came in and started this game, and maybe they could have had a competent quarterback back there. Then again, it's Andy Dalton we're talking about.
Right. Exactly.
So Davis Mills and Mac Jones, I don't think you play either of them in this game. Even though Mac Jones could have a solid game with multiple touchdowns, it could also just be a huge run fest where they end up just running the ball a lot, and we don't see Mac Jones throw the ball for more than 25 times. So I'm actually going to be fading a majority of the New England offense outside of Damian Harris and outside of Jacoby Myers.
I agree.
Over in Houston, we're fading all of those running backs. We are fading every single one of them. We are not touching one of them. Do not put them in your lineups. If they're on your rosters, drop them now and pick up somebody else. Go to our waiver show, pick up one of those guys. Drop Phillip Lindsay, David Johnson.
Only person on the Houston Texans, I'll keep it short and simple, that I would even consider is Brandon Cooks. And even at that point, I'm a little worried with J.C. Jackson treatment. But he's had one bad week. I mean, and it wasn't even horrific. You know, he still got the targets. I think Brandon Cooks is an okay flex. I know is he your sit of the week?
He is my sit of the week. But if you're looking to flex in someone that's very, very weak, I would play him over Zacchaeus this week. I would play him over someone that has a 0-point floor, but I wouldn't play him over someone that's got I wouldn't play him over Tyler Boyd this week.
Okay.
I'd take the shot on Tyler Boyd.
Tennessee, Jacksonville. I thought this was a game in London. If you watched our must starts, I'm an idiot. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what day it is. I don't know.
Colorado, loving it up there, huh?
Yeah, all this marijuana, I think. I don't know, man. I don't even smoke. I don't smoke, so I'm not high. Haven't been high.
I believe you, but hey, with all these mistakes, I'm starting to question if you're having fun out there. But let's talk about the quarterbacks.
All right, let's do it.
We got Ryan Tannehill. We got Trevor Lawrence. I'm sitting Ryan Tannehill.
You are.
I am.
You are.
I am.
You are.
I am.
You are.
Even with A.J. Brown and no Julio Jones.
A.J. Brown is there.
That's what I'm saying. Even with A.J. Brown and no Julio Jones.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm playing Ryan Tannehill this week.
I'm sitting Ryan Tannehill. I'm playing Jameis Winston over him this week. And then we got Trevor Lawrence. I think if you're in a situation where you have him, he's a streamable option. Tennessee's been one of the worst defenses in the league this year so far for almost every position. So I think there's a chance that Trevor Lawrence is in a situation where Tennessee we saw Zach Wilson have a great day against him. It's possible Jacksonville can win this game too. So
yeah, it's very possible. Both teams, I said it in the must starts because Ryan Tannehill is my must start quarterback. This is a must win for both teams. Point blank period. Loser goes to the bottom of the division. It's what it is, which is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because originally it was supposed to be the Texans. So yes, Ryan Tannehill, I think he's gonna have a good day, especially with A.J. Brown back. No Julio Jones, it's okay. T-Law, I think, is a fine. You could if you need a streaming option, or maybe you have I don't know some I don't know. Man. If you need an RB2, I think he'll be fine RB2. Kind of probably put up around 20 points. Let's go. James Robinson, start of the week for me. How do you feel about J-Rob?
Love J-Rob. Definitely playing him. Henry's non-questionable 150-yard game.
A.J. Brown.
Play A.J. Brown. Play A.J. Brown.
Yep.
80-plus yards and a touchdown.
Yep. How about the Jacksonville receivers?
I think you play both of them as flex options and nothing more than that. And I'd take Laviska Shenault over Marvin Jones this week.
Yes, I would as well. But yes, I think you play both of them as some sort of as a flex option, wide receiver 3, area. If you got obviously, I think, like you said, I would take Laviska over Marvin. I think if you needed to question, like if you needed a wide receiver 2 and your wide receiver 2 spot was in question, I think Laviska might be able to, take that over. Dan Arnold, I think, is a sneaky okay tight end play this week.
I don't mind him. I think he's definitely streamable if you've got that option.
Yeah. So, and I'm not interested in Ferksker or Geoff or anybody like that.
Speaking of Geoff, what about Detroit and Minnesota? Jared Goff.
Geoff.
Going up against Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins must start. I mean, he's a fantasy. He is a top tier fantasy quarterback. Well, not top tier. He's a very consistent, very solid fantasy football quarterback going up against a putrid defense. Yes.
Their defense isn't putrid. Their
defense
is little middle of the pack. But no, I think Kirk Cousins is a low end 1, a high end 2, somewhere in that range, and it really depends on his day. So he's startable, but if you have a better option, don't be afraid to take it. Deandre Swift, I think you play him this week. I think Minnesota's rushing defense hasn't been very dominant. Their defense in general has been very porous and has been allowing everyone to put up points against them. And I think DeAndre Swift bounces back after a poor rushing week. Dalvin Cook, I think, bounces back again. Wait, didn't he get set back? Dalvin Cook could be a game-time decision. He did get set back.
He could be a game-time decision. So keep an eye out on that, because if not, Alexander Mattison, you're playing him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He could be a big letdown, but you're playing him.
All right, we're definitely playing Jefferson and Thielen. Are we touching OJ or KJ Osborne this week?
I'm sorry. Are we playing Jamal Williams? I think Jamal Williams is actually a pretty good play too.
I think if he plays, yes. I think you start him as a flex option. I think he's got some upside, or a weak RB2. If you're weak at running back and he can slot in for that RB2.
Yep. I am actually starting him as an RB2 unless Dalvin Cook doesn't play, because I have Madison. I am playing Jamal Williams as a RB2 in my 0 running back season series. So go check that out.
Jumping over to the receivers, we got Jefferson, Thielen. We knew both playing him. I asked KJ Osborne. He's touching him.
If
man's getting the targets,
he's getting targets. Yes, he's getting targets, but he didn't catch him.
Last week was rough.
But I mean, they're playing the Cleveland defense, so that's understandable. KJ Osborne, I think, has a bounce back flex week.
I'm actually trying to pull up where he ranks on total targets this season, but my computer is
like as far as the league goes, or what he has.
As far as the league,
because he's got 24 targets on.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where that racks up, but my computer is absolutely not working with me, so we're not going to worry about that.
I would take KJ Osborne over all of the other receivers on the Lions.
He's 28th. I'm sorry. 28th in total targets this season.
Love it. That's good.
That's really good, actually.
Very good.
A little bit higher than I was expecting, even when I started pulling it up. But no, I think I would take him. You would take him over all of the receivers on the Lions?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you there.
Who you going? Don't say Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Why? Why?
Or Quintez Cephas.
Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown. Last week, 8 targets, 6 catches, 70 yards. We saw it.
Well, yes, 1 week. Congrats, Amon-Ra.
That's all it takes.
Yes, if you played
it's his first. It's the rookie. He just got his first real good game. He's got that. Oh, this is what it is. Look at Justin Jefferson's season last year. Justin Jefferson took about 3 weeks to get going, and before he started popping off. I am comparing Amon-Ra St. Brown to Justin Jefferson. Let's do it.
Amon-Ra to Justin Jefferson. Nobody's gonna listen to our show now. This is bullshit.
I guarantee we have a cult following of people that love Amon-Ra St. Brown and are waiting for him to break out because of the hype that I've brought to him.
I mean, yes. Well, timeout. I mean, you're way hotter on him than I am. I like it. You
agree. I agree. You agree.
But you just compared him to just don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Mike.
All right.
Justin Jefferson's first 2 weeks last season, 6 total targets for 5 catches.
Hey, John, we're in week 5.
All right, we're not worried about Justin. Okay, week 5 for Justin Jefferson, 5 catches, 3 catches, 5 targets, 23 yards.
Yes,
it hasn't happened yet. He just had his breakout game.
Week 3, week 4, he put up 15. You okay?
Yeah. He got the touchdown. He got a bunch of yards on deep plays. That's fine. I'm not saying he's gonna. And we're not looking at a 1,400-yard season. We're looking at like an 850, and I'd be happy with that. But we'll go on from there.
Yeah, let's move on because we could argue this for days. TJ Hawkinson, you're playing. He is questionable, but I mean everybody's questionable at this point.
Everyone's questionable.
They are. I mean,
no, you're right.
I keep saying girlfriend. I don't know why. My wife is in a fantasy league with me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, why is everybody questionable?"
She understands the pain now. Let's jump over to the next game, though. This one's a little more of a sleeper fest, in my opinion. We've got Denver and Pittsburgh. Yes. Teddy Bridgewater practiced in full today.
Cool.
My 2 quarterback league may not be screwed that bad.
Yeah, that is true.
I've got one. I can play one now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess if you're as desperate as you are, then yes. But outside of that, no.
Yes, I've got Tua, I've got Teddy Bridgewater, and I've got Jimmy Garoppolo in a 2 quarterback league. So we're looking scary this week. Big Ben, I don't think you touch him. I think you stream well before you play him. Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, I think both of them have a very flexible day and nothing more than that. One of them may find the end zone, but I think it's up to game script and just how the balls go. Najee Harris must start running back.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Must start running back.
I mean, yes. Not because of his play, but because, I mean, I guess because of his play. He's been playing very well. So, yeah, yes. Must start running back. We'll leave it at that.
All right, so let's move on to the receivers. We've got Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster. Last week, all of them saw an incredible amount of targets due to the game script, and I don't think we're going to be seeing it again. I think you need to be looking at Deontay Johnson as a wide receiver too, Claypool and Juju as mid to high-end flex options.
Well, Claypool didn't see any targets last week. He did not play. But Deontay and Juju did have a pretty solid target share. I think Deontay, is weekly start, wide receiver 2 start, just due to the fact that he is getting targeted so much, even with Big Ben back there. I saw a stat the other day, 35 targets, I believe is what he has, 0 drops. So I know last year was a big thing for him. As far as Claypool, to be honest,
I don't trust him.
I don't trust him at all. I think you can flex him in, but that's it. Like, just a flex. I don't think he goes into your wide receiver 2 spot unless desperate, or wide receiver 3 spot unless really desperate. And then as far as Judy Smith-Schuster, a flex option. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year, so maybe it's coming. He had 9 last year, so
it's possible.
Ooh, excuse me.
At best, sorry.
No, yeah. So
yeah. At best, I'm looking at both of the Denver receivers, Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick, as weak flex options. Cortland Sutton gets a little more strength behind his name, but Tim Patrick, even though he's been the least consistent but somewhat consistent receiver that you feel comfortable playing, I don't like him this week, especially if Teddy gets hurt or Teddy's not playing.
Yeah. I think Tim Patrick, I'm fading this week just because of I'm not fading. I guess a low-end flex option. Cortland Sutton did just get added to the injury report because he did injure his ankle, or he rolled his ankle in Friday's practice. So I think that, hurts him a little bit. Should be good to go, though, from what I'm hearing or reading. Not hearing. I have no connections to the NFL. But so I mean, I think a wide receiver 2 flex option there for you. But Tim Patrick, I think this week is a riskier flex option. As far as Noah Fant, I think you're playing him at tight end.
Absolutely.
Pat Freiermuth, I'm not playing
Not
him.
touching.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move over to the ass kicking of the week. Miami going to Tampa, traveling very far. It's nice. Sleeper has Miami's record at 3-1. I love it.
What it should be, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, we're obviously playing Brady. Are you touching Brissett outside? Okay, in a 2-quarterback league, we talked about this before. I'll agree with you. Jacoby Brissett could fill in as that second quarterback option for you. Outside of that, is there any realm of possibility? Okay.
Nope. And Devontae Parker might not play. So he's going to be throwing to Jalen Waddle, Albert Wilson, Kirk Merritt, Preston Williams, Mike Gesicki. I think I got everybody. Yeah, so only 2 guys stand out to me. Jalen Waddle, I think he's going to have a good week. I know I said it last week, but fucking Jacoby Brissett missed him on a massive touchdown, dude. He should have been a wide receiver 1 last week. If he would have hit that long play, he would have been he actually missed him on 2 plays, but I'm just kidding. I don't want to talk about it. It hurts my heart. As far as the running backs go, in this entire game, I think Leonard Fournette is the only play.
Yes, I'm going to have to agree. Leonard Fournette is a must-start running back this week. I think he dominates the Dolphins' weak rushing defense and finds himself in the end zone.
Yeah. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, you're playing all of them.
Wide receiver 2s, wide receiver 1 on Chris Godwin or AB. Where are we feeling? What comfortability? Mike Evans, I think, is a mid-wide receiver 2 to a flex option. I don't think you slate him in as a wide receiver 1.
See, I think he's the wide receiver 1 this week. I think Mike Evans is the wide receiver 1 this week. I think Chris Godwin is the flex option. I think he might get some of that Byron Jones treatment, who is playing very well. And then Antonio Brown, I think, is a flex wide receiver 2, but I think Mike Evans has the best week. The Dolphins always seem to do. I mean, I guess it really depends on how they play, but Xavier Howard has been letting big plays go, and people have been catching the ball over him, and that's kind of sticks to Mike Evans' strength. So it's kind of why I'm leaning Mike Evans is the most comfortable play for me. But in all honesty, I'm playing all 3 of them.
All right, what about the tight ends? Mike Gesicki, I think you definitely start. Cameron Brate and OJ Howard, even with Gronkowski out, I'm not comfortable playing them. Brate did get 6 targets last week, but did not come down with more than 2. So I'm not playing the upside there. I don't see this being as big of a shootout as it was last week.
Yeah, Eric Rowe has been pretty good against the tight end. I mean, held Darren Waller to like 5 catches for 50 or something like that. So had an okay tight end day, but nothing Darren Waller-esque. Mike Gesicki, I think, is a great start this week.
Okay. Over to New Orleans and
Waddle, the only 2 receiving options on that team right now that I'd consider.
Over to New Orleans and Washington, we got Jameis Winston and Taylor Heineke. I think you can start both of these guys as a low-end quarterback 1, high-end quarterback 2. Winston, you have the upside of a top 5 quarterback and the floor of a bottom 24 quarterback from what we've seen so far this season. Alvin Kamara, after what we've been seeing him not getting those red zone carries like he used to, and Taysom Hill coming in and running that secondary quarterback wildcat BS that we see. Alvin Kamara still is a must start because of the potential for a breakaway run, and then him still having a super solid floor. I think Antonio Gibson's another solid play this week, though.
No, he's not. No, he is not, John.
You're right. Stress factor and Shin. J.D. McKissick, sign him up.
Yeah, well, what about Jarrett Patterson? I know it's a weird name.
No.
I think you roster him. I don't think you play him this week. But on such short notice, somebody's going to have to run the ball. J.D. McKissick is not going to run the ball a ton. I think Jarrett Patterson is interesting. All I'm saying is interesting. I'm not saying you must start him.
Don't play him. Not even as a flex option. Would not touch him.
All I'm saying is he's an interesting option. Pick him up.
Okay.
That's it.
Say Curtis Samuel can run the ball.
Yeah.
Could be the Cordaro Patterson for Washington this week.
Cordaro Patterson is a monster compared to Curtis Samuel.
All right.
The wide
Receivers.
receivers, Curtis Samuel, Marquez Callaway, Deontay Harris, any of those guys, Adam Humphries, anybody other than Terry McLaurin that you like?
Not really, not specifically. They're all low-end flex options at best, and you're taking big risks on them.
I mean, the thing is, Curtis Samuel's still hurt. I think if he was not hurt, if he was 100% healthy, I'd smash the Curtis Samuel button this week, especially with Antonio Gibson, being more than likely not playing. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody's scary here. Marquez Callaway, I think, could be a flex option. But it's not a solid flex option. Same with Deontay Harris. I mean, any week it could be, different between those guys. So I think you can find somebody better than the New Orleans receivers, even though I think Jameis Winston's going to have a good day. I just don't know, and I don't think anybody does know which receiver is going to have the good day for New Orleans.
No, it's more of a crapshoot. It's like Detroit's receiving core, where it's just going to be whoever's open because he doesn't have a favorite there really. And then because Jameis Winston's so inconsistent, you're definitely not playing Adam Troutman this week. And then Logan Thomas is a must-start tight end every week at this point.
No, he's on IR, John.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. These injuries that I keep forgetting about. Ricky Seals-Jones is not playable in my opinion.
Let's move over to Chicago, Las Vegas. Justin Fields getting another start, has been named the starter.
Got the other guy sent out of town.
Did Andy Dalton didn't get traded, did he?
Got traded to Houston today for a 5th-round pick.
No way. I did not see that. Wow.
That's why I said earlier, it's too bad it didn't happen earlier because Davis Mills wouldn't be playing this week.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. Got the other guy kicked out of town, so it's Justin Fields for the rest of the season unless Nick Foles decides to throw that big something around.
Are you sure? I don't see anything. I don't see anything where he got traded. I see the Chicago Bears.
Is it rumors? Is it rumors?
It might be rumors. I think it's rumors. John. Because I looked it up and it said I saw an article that says Andy Dalton should be traded to the Texans, but I didn't see anything saying he did get traded. So, anyways, Justin Fields, Derek.
Adam Schefter tweeted today. Bears are sending quarterback Andy Dalton to the Texans for a 2023 5th-round pick.
He did tweet it?
For Adam Schefter.
Adam on Adam Schefter's Twitter.
I'm looking for. I mean, JPA posted it, but I'm gonna pull it up now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just say I think Justin Fields is a good play this week. If you need a running back or a wide receiver, I think he'd be a wide receiver 2, or running back 2. Jeez. Quarterback. I can't speak. Quarterback 2 if you need one. I'm not playing him over. I mean, Justin Fields or Jameis Winston, John, this week. Good answer. I think I'm going to go Jameis Winston. So that kind of gauges him, but I think he's not too far behind with the upside of things.
Yeah. I personally, I'm still not comfortable playing Justin Fields until I see some more from him. I'll take Jameis Winston. Derek Carr, on the other hand, I think is a high-end 2, low-end 1 quarterback on the week against Chicago. Last week against the Chargers, we saw the first of the downfall of the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that.
Yep. Let's move on to the running backs. Josh Jacobs, you're playing, in my opinion. I think he's a running back 2 this week. So a solid running back 2. Damian Williams getting the start. He was full participant. Running back 2 for me.
Yeah, I like Damian Williams a lot this week. I think he's going to be someone that sees 20-plus carries. I think you definitely need to be playing him if you got him. And I think Josh Jacobs has a great day as well. I think both of them you should slot in as a running back 2, with Jacobs getting a slate as a possible running back 1, in my opinion. And that might be a little contrarian to most people, but I like him this week.
All right. Let's go to the receivers. Allen Robinson has obviously been dookie. Is this a bounce back week for him?
Hopefully, it's all up to Justin Fields. At some point, he's going to get a hold of this offense, and he's going to start throwing like a normal quarterback and airing the ball out properly. I don't want to guess when. If I've got Allen Robinson, I'm looking at what point where the rest of my roster is. And there's a situation where if I've got really good receivers, I'm not playing them. If I'm bad at receiver, he's definitely making a spot in there, just on the upside. He's got huge upside.
Antonio Brown or Allen Robinson this week?
Antonio Brown.
Okay. So
Darnell Mooney over Allen Robinson this week.
Darnell Mooney, yeah, I do like Darnell Mooney this week. Yeah, Allen Robinson, like you said, is kind of got to prove it, and Justin Fields and him need to get on the same page. It's going to come. I just don't know when, and that's kind of why I'm hesitant. Last week he was my sit of the week. Hopefully he listened to me. This week, I hope he just has that bounce back week. Maybe a flex if you need him to be. Henry Ruggs, Hunter Renfro. I like Henry Ruggs. I do like Henry Ruggs. I think that he's been getting the targets. So I think he has earned the right to be at least a flex option on your team. Obviously, he's got the big play upside, but he's seen a consistent 5 or more targets. Week in and week out, getting behind the defense, things like that, making big catches. So, and he's only gotten the end zone once. He's had 2 12 or more point games, one of those being a 22-point game. So I think he's a good wide receiver 2 flex option, wide receiver 3 flex option. Somewhere around there.
I actually think the only player I'm comfortably playing off the Raiders is probably the only receiver I don't have off the Raiders, and that's going to be Hunter Renfro. He's the only one that seems to be able to keep up with the fact that Derek Carr can't air out the ball deep very well. And though Henry Ruggs is getting those deep targets and Bryan Edwards gets those beautiful deep targets, they just barely ever seem to connect. And when they do, they look great. But Hunter Renfro has been extremely consistent each week, getting 6 or more targets and 5 or more catches. And I think he's someone that has a little bit of stability. If you're looking for that stable play at flex, I'd go him. If you're looking for that huge upside play, that deep ball, that 20-point game because a guy caught an 80-yard touchdown, Henry Ruggs has like a 50-50 chance of giving it to you.
Yeah, I definitely think Hunter Renfro is better, but I'm saying I think Renfro is very consistent. He's gonna be consistent, like you said. Yes, like you said. And then Darren Waller, yeah, you're playing. Cole Kmet, are you playing this week?
No, I'm not touching the Bears tight ends. They don't. Justin Fields. I don't trust any of the Bears, so I'm definitely not touching any of the tight ends. I'm really only comfortable playing their running back right now. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Cleveland and the Chargers. Baker Mayfield is my sit of the week. So don't like him this week. Not playing him unless desperate. We had a question from earlier, and I just realized it on Twitter from Wilson27. He says in a quarterback in a super flex league, does he start Baker, Olamide Zaccheaus, or Zach Moss? I lean Baker. I'm playing the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm playing Baker there.
Yeah, I'm playing Baker I'm playing the quarterback unless it's Davis Mills. At that point I'd consider it. But yeah, that's probably one of the only situations I'm playing him in. Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert, even going up against this Cleveland defense. I mean, the running back, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, they're playing. Odell Beckham, I'm not playing. I don't think it's Odell Beckham. I think if you need him to be a flex option, like desperately, I think he could be a flex option. But even at that point, I don't really trust him.
I think at best you're looking at both of them as flex options. Even the Chargers receivers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, I'm only playing them as wide receiver 2s or less this week, mainly on the fact that I just think this is going to be a very low scoring and slow game. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for them to have big plays. They'll have some plays, but I don't think they're going to get a lot of them in enough volume for them to have a booming day. Yeah,
I'm definitely starting both of them. It's just I'm tempering my expectations.
Yes.
Jared Cook, are you playing Jared Cook? Are you interested?
No. No Jared Cook.
Jared Cook or Cole Kmet?
Neither. Streaming Dawson Knox.
Well, Dawson Knox is highly picked up now.
I'm streaming another tight end.
Okay. San Francisco or at Arizona. Actually, Hugh, our DFS guy, who's
Going to be at this game.
He's going to be at this game. Yes, big time. San Fran fan. Jeez. Trey Lance getting his first NFL start. Are you playing him this week?
2 quarterback, definitely yes. Single quarterback, definitely no.
Definitely no.
Definitely no. I think there's a huge opportunity. He has a huge bust game. If I've got him, I have another quarterback. If I drafted him, I drafted another quarterback that I can be playing. And I'd rather be playing them week 1 of his starting than taking the shot on him.
What if you drafted Baker Mayfield? A lot of people did that. A lot of people took Baker Mayfield.
Well, I did. I would never have done that. So I'd play. Well,
that's the tier quarterback people were taking typically when they were going Trey Lance. They're going around that same tier.
I take Jameis Winston. I take Sam Darnold, who was drafted in that same tier. Trey Lance was actually drafted somewhere around like Matt Ryan, who I'd even take over him in a single quarterback league this week.
Really? No, see, I'm not doing that.
He's got a lot of upside, but I do think that there's a chance that he just doesn't get that offense rolling in the right way. And I do think that he's turnover prone week 1 against Arizona, whose defense has been allowing a lot of yards. They've been very solid in stopping the quarterback from making big plays. So I'm just, if it's a 2 quarterback league, definitely playing him because of the upside that's there with him. And I'm expecting my other quarterback to hedge that.
Yeah, see,
if I have to rely on him, then no.
Okay, so yeah, I think he finished at minimum a high end 2 this week. He's his rushing ability is just ridiculous. 7 rushes for 41 yards last week, on 50% of the game. So, I do like Trey Lance this week. I do. I'm not going to even lie. Obviously Elijah Mitchell, he's cleared for Sunday. Had a good week 1, week 2. Trey Sermon is going to be playing as well. Had a lot of carries last week and was very efficient with those carries. Just didn't get in the end zone. What are you doing with these 2 guys?
I think you can flex both of them just because we don't know where that ball is actually going to be going. Yeah, Mitchell's coming back and he's playing this week, but what kind of share is he going to be getting of that backfield?
Right.
I honestly would be playing Chase Edmonds over both of them, and I think they're at the same tier as James Conner for me right now, but they give you a little bit more of a floor. James Conner is extremely touchdown dependent, even though he has been getting a lot of those carries within the 20.
Yep. Yeah. No, I do. I agree. I think Eli and Trey are both flex options. I think one of them could blow up. I think both of them could be running back 2s. I could see a world where one's a running back 1, one's a running back 2 this week, just because of Trey Lance at that QB position. I think they're gonna be running the ball a ton. So I am definitely flexing both of those guys in. Chase Edmonds, good start, running back 2 for you. James Conner, I think it's a flex option as well. Whew. All right. Obviously, no George Kittle this week. Or he is doubtful at least. I think Brandon Ayuk could be a flex option.
I definitely think that you have to flex Brandon Ayuk if you've got him on your rosters. We saw what he could do last year. He's an extremely talented player. He is an absolute stud. It's just we don't know when he's going to be getting the ball, if he's going to be getting the ball. And so you're playing a huge risk here. And you're also playing a huge risk if you bench him and he does get the ball this week. If you have another comfortable start that isn't a high ceiling, low floor guy, make sure you put Ayuk in that roster. If you need the points and your team's looking a little shaky and you need someone with a little consistency, you need to be like, hey, I at least need 10 points from this player. You might not want to play Brandon. And that's the situation where you're going to be looking at it.
Right. AJ Green, Christian Kirk, Rondell Moore. I'm comfortable with AJ Green.
I'm comfortable with all 3 of them as a flex option. I think AJ Green gets the most comfortability out of them. Christian Kirk gets them second, and then Rondell Moore could blow up at any time. It's hard to predict in this offense because the ball goes everywhere outside of DeAndre Hopkins. If DeAndre Hopkins comes in and has a great day.
Yes. Yeah. So I like the flip, I like Rondell more than Christian Kirk if you're gonna flex him, but I really wouldn't trust any. I wouldn't really trust him if I had him. I think there's better options out there, but if you need like a high upside kind of deal or something like that, I think you can flex one of those guys. And then Max Williams, coming off of a good week, has had a pretty good season so far. Week 2, obviously, he blew up all 7 passes for 94 yards. Do you think he could have another good week?
I would play
I
would play Max Williams over Jared Cook and over Cole Kmet.
Okay. So like a high-end tight end 2?
High-end tight end 2, streamable tight end with a risk involved.
Yes. Okay. What about Ross Dwelley with George Kittle out?
Even with George Kittle out, I don't think you're going to be taking the shot on Ross Dwelley. He's had some games where Kittle's been out and has been able to produce off of it, but I'm not taking the shot on him. I'm streaming otherwhere.
All right. This is going to be a good game. I'm excited for this. Giants in Dallas. I know it's kind of weird. I know Daniel Jones is your tight end or your running back quarterback start of the week. I think he's going to have a good week. I think he's gonna have a fine week.
No, I think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback this week. Absolutely.
No, you do. I'm just saying. I think I'm gauging him more as a quarterback 2, high end quarterback, mid to high 2. Dak Prescott must start. At this point, Zeke is a must start, right?
Zeke and Saquon are both must starts.
Yep. Tony Pollard. That's really the only question about the running back. I'm not playing him.
Not playing Tony Pollard. I think that was just a early season kind of thing, and I don't think it's going to be something going forward.
If you need like 7 points, if you got really, then maybe play him at your flex, but that's nobody wants 7 points, so you're not playing him. Kenny Goliday, I think, could have a good week.
I think you flex in both Kenny Goliday and Kadarius Toney.
My only concern with Kenny Goliday is the Trayvon Diggs treatment. Trayvon Diggs has been, in my opinion, the best or one of top 5 cornerbacks, top 3 cornerbacks this year so far. He put the number on Mike Evans week 1. We all remember that. He's already got 4 or 5 interceptions in 4 games. Dude's a monster. Takes after his brother, except on the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, I agree with you. Toney and Goliday are flexible. I'm not worried about CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper either. I'm playing both.
You're playing both of them. Yeah. And I'm not touching Cedric Wilson or Noah Brown.
Yeah, I am playing Dalton Schultz.
I will play Dalton Schultz, and I'm not touching the other tight ends in the game.
Buffalo KC, probably one of the most highly anticipated games this year or this week, maybe even the year. I mean, this could be an AFC Championship. I mean, it is the AFC Championship rematch.
It is,
isn't it?
It is, and it's a proving game for Josh Allen. Honestly,
it's a what?
Prove it game for Josh Allen. I think so. Kansas City beat him in the AFC Championship last year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comparisons between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and Baltimore's already pulled off the win against Kansas City, and I think that people are expecting Josh Allen to not just pull off the win, but actually have a good game and look great against a team that they just destroyed them last year. Even though Kansas City's defense has been a little banged up or a little weaker this season so far, I still think that Josh Allen has to have a good day to still be considered a possible MVP favorite from the beginning of the season.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I think both of them you're playing. CEH, you're playing. He's finally back in our good graces. He's had 2 very good weeks. Just needs to get that pass catching work. He's not getting that, and it's really bothering me. But I think it's going to come. Zach Moss, Devin Singletary. You're playing either of these guys.
It's weird because it seems like Buffalo's changed their mind about how they feel about their running backs, and they've been getting not they've been getting a lot of carries, they've been getting efficient carries finally. I think you can look at these guys as very, very weak flex options, or if you've been obliterated at that running back position, you can slate them in for a week as a streaming option. But I don't want to say that they are must starts or need to be in your lineups because there's an absolute chance that they just don't have a decent day.
Let's go down to the wide receivers. I mean, I'm not starting anybody other than Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs. Are you, and then Stephon Diggs, obviously, I think you're starting. Are you starting Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, or I mean, you're not starting.
I'll take the shot on Emmanuel Sanders as a wide receiver 2 in this week, just because of the fact that I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and it seems that Emmanuel Sanders has been getting in the good graces of Josh Allen and been looking a little bit better the past 2 weeks. Has been getting the targets, and I think that's something you can look at. Kind of a flex option as well. Maybe not a wide receiver 2. Let's give him the wide receiver 3 flex designation.
Okay, all right, and then finally Indianapolis going into Baltimore. Carson Wentz, you're not playing. Lamar Jackson, you're playing. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree. We did skip over Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox is a startable tight end.
Shoot, I apologize. Yes, Dawson Knox, you're playing. I think you're playing him as a tight end this week. He is another one that's earned that right to be in that spot. So
yes.
Sorry. So yeah, let's go to the running backs for the Baltimore Ravens. Latavius Murray, I think you're playing. I mean, he's consistently getting the ball more. Yes. Tyson Williams, healthy scratch last week.
I'm not playing him, obviously.
Yeah, you're not playing him. But I'm saying Le'Veon Bell got pulled up. It's probably going to happen again. I think Latavius – they went after Latavius Murray and started him or had him on the active roster like 2 days before the season or like 2 days before the first game or whatever it was. They trust him. They like him. So I think they wanted Tyson to kind of give Lat a little bit of time, and then I think it's his backfield now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you there. I think Latavius Murray's in for a very solid rest of season at this point.
Nyheim Hines and Marlon Mack. Oh, man, it was disappointing for me when we were at the Dolphins game. Marlon Mack got 10 touches out of nowhere.
Yeah, didn't do much of them, but you got him.
Got him. Give him to Nyheim Hines. Are you playing either of those guys?
No, I'm not. I mean, if I really, 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 really need an option as a flex player, you could take a shot on Nyheim Hines, but I'm not comfortable playing him. I think you get better options other places.
Yeah. Michael Pittman, I think he's going to be he's getting the targets. He's getting the targets. I know it's a pretty tough matchup, but I think he could do enough to at least be a solid flex, or a good flex, 10 points. He's doing well. He hasn't gotten in the end zone yet. So hopefully that happens this week.
Yeah. Out of this game, though, I don't think I'm really interested in playing anyone outside of Pittman and Pittman as a flex option.
You're not playing Marquis Brown?
I was going to say, out of Baltimore side, I'd play Marquis Brown, wide receiver 2 or less. He has been getting more consistent than we've expected to see from him in the past. Sammy Watkins does carry a little interesting floor with him along with it, even though it hasn't been talked about. The guy's been rough, just under 10 points almost every week.
Literally had 4 catches every game. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then even someone that's been getting a lot of targets last week was James Prochet. Don't want to say you can play him, but just someone to keep an eye on. Don't roster him, but watch the game and see how he's targeted and where those targets actually come from.
Yep. Mark Andrews, I think you're playing him.
You have to play him.
Yeah. So, all right. What about Mo Cox? Mo Cox, obviously coming off a really big week.
No, there's too many tight ends there, and just because he had the touchdowns last week doesn't mean that they're going to be coming again. They could have easily just been a Jack Doyle touchdown or a Michael Pittman touchdown or even a Zach Pascal touchdown. I don't think you want to be chasing them there because they use all of their tight ends, not just one.
All righty, guys. Well, that is it. Enjoy your week 5. I'm very excited. My time, game start at 7:30 a.m. So I am going to be waking up, coffee, Bloody Mary, live stream. It's good. It's a perfect day. So, all right, guys. Don't forget live stream on Sunday, starting at 12 Eastern time, noon for the first hour or the hour. Not the Jags game. Jeez.
Come on.
The Falcons game will be going on at that point. Don't forget, set your damn lineups for that game. Make sure you take those players out of the flex spot. Let your later guys
slot in there.
Flex option or flex spot for you. So, all right, guys. John, you have anything to say?
Yes, guys, make sure you, as we mentioned earlier, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you don't miss that notification for that live stream on Sunday. We can wake your guys' butts up and make sure you're in it by 12:05. And then also the Discord is going to be linked in the chat below. Ask any of your start-sit questions as we get closer to the trade. You can start asking trade questions in there. Make sure to join. It is a beautiful community, and we'd love to see your faces in there. Thank you guys so much for another beautiful episode. We will see you again on Sunday.
All right, guys. We love you. See ya.